Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Well, we're back again with the royal news. The news can be lighthearted or a little serious, and I think we all like to keep up with the royal family, so I try to do that once a week. So the first story comes from OK Online, and it's dated November the 8th, 2024, and it's entitled, Prince Harry's European home purchase is linked to the fear of being deported by Trump, royal experts say. Prince Harry's European home purchase has been linked to him allegedly having concerns about potential immigration issues. The Invictus Games founder currently resides in Montecito, California, U.S., with his family, having moved there after stepping down from a senior role in 2020. However, following an inquiry into his immigration status by a think tank, Harry found himself at the center of a lawsuit aimed at making his immigration details public. While the details remain private for now, there is speculation that the status quo could change under the new U.S. administration. If Prince Harry is found to have violated any immigration rules, he could face deportation. Last month, reports emerged that Harry and his wife Meghan had purchased a new home in Europe while currently living in a large mansion in Montecito, California. Initially, the purchase was linked to rumors that the former Suits actress wanted to apply for a golden visa, which would allow her unrestricted travel through the 26 Schengen countries in Europe. While these claims remain unverified, royal expert Richard Eden has suggested that the purchase may also be linked by Harry's alleged fear of being deported by Donald Trump. According to the Daily Mail, Eden hinted that if Trump were reelected, Harry could face intensified scrutiny over his immigration status, and this might explain why the former senior royal appears to be seeking an escape route through the European property. Eden further claimed that a source revealed Harry and Meghan are making increasingly desperate attempts to reconcile with the royal family. The source also suggested that Harry is expected to visit the UK more frequently in the coming years. We can expect to see more of Harry back in Britain in years to come, the insider said. Our next story comes from OK Online, and it's also dated November the 7th, 2024. So this holiday season, a rift appears to be growing between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle over how and where to spend Christmas. According to insiders, Meghan finds Harry's intention to consider spending Christmas with the royal family in the UK laughable. For the Duchess of Sussex, this year should be a time for the couple to reconnect and strengthen their bond at home in Montecito, California. However, a source disclosed that Meghan is firm on the idea of a quiet holiday in the U.S., especially given the distance that has grown from recent individual comments. Especially since the distance that has grown from recent individual commitments, with Harry immersed in charity work abroad and Meghan making appearances in Los Angeles. The couple's professional lives have kept them on separate paths. For Meghan, celebrating at home in Montecito with their children would offer a moment to reflect and regroup after the year's challenges. Harry, however, seems to have a different vision. He is reportedly torn between celebrating at Sandringham with the royals or possibly making the occasion with his late mother's family. This inclination has stirred up tensions between the couple, with Meghan feeling that their family's unity should be the priority this year. According to the insider, Meghan sees this season as an opportunity to pause, reflect, and address any underlying issues they may be facing. While she understands Harry's familiar connections, she believes it's essential for their immediate family to stay together, especially considering the recent strains on their relationship. Ultimately, analysts observe that Harry's desire to reunite with his family in the UK is not just a logistical choice, but an emotional one. As Christmas draws closer, the couple must weigh their priorities, balancing tradition with the well-being of their family in Montecito, with Meghan likely opting for a quiet celebration with her mother, Doria Raglan, and her and Harry's 2 children. This led a source to add, the wounds Meghan suffered from her experiences in the royal family cut very deep. Since all the drama over her and Harry's split from the firm, she's been incredibly nervous about facing them again, but she now accepts it's got to be done. They continue, Meghan's stance is that if Harry is going to go back and make a deal with the royals, she needs to be part of it as well. She wants to show them they can't just trample all over her and then have Harry come back on his own as though she can be tossed aside. As OK previously reported, the Duchess of Sussex has not returned to the United Kingdom since Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral on September 19, 2022. It was reported that Her Reluctant Royal Highness spoke with King Charles III via a secure video link on his 75th birthday, November 2023. So the next story comes from AOL.online, dated November the 8th, 2024. Prince William's facial hair, or lack thereof, has been a topic of hot debate in recent months, but while most fans seem to welcome the sight of a little stubble on the royal, he recently revealed that one very special person in his life had a drastically different reaction. At an Earthshot Prize event in Cape Town, South Africa, on Wednesday, November the 6th, William admitted that their daughter, Princess Charlotte, was heartbroken when her dad grew a beard. U.S. Weekly reported that. Charlotte didn't like it the first time, said William, 42. I got floods of tears, so I had to shave it off. And then I grew it back. I thought, hang on a second, and I convinced her it was going to be okay. Since William's beard was back at the moment, it's safe to say that Charlotte IX has since made her peace with the more rugged look. But when reporters told the Prince of Wales that he seemed more relaxed, he said that definitely wasn't the case. It's interesting you say that, because I couldn't be less relaxed this year. So it's very interesting you're all seeing that, William admitted. But it's more of a case of just crack on, and you got to keep on going. I enjoy my work, and I enjoy pacing myself and keeping sure that I have time for my family, too. It's been dreadful. It's probably been the hardest year of my life, he continued, referencing Kate Middleton and King Charles's cancer diagnoses. So trying to get through everything else and keep everything on track has been really difficult. But I'm so proud of my wife. I'm proud of my father for the handling the things that they have done. But from a personal family point of view, it's been brutal. And the final story comes from an online site, Marie Claire, dated November the 7th, 2024. Queen Camilla's kids were terrified by an accidental Queen Elizabeth run-in. Despite being Queen Camilla's son and King Charles's stepson, Tom Parker Bowles has largely stayed away from the royal scene. In fact, the accomplished food writer who recently released a royal-themed cookbook, Cooking in the Crown, revealed in a new interview that he only ever met Queen Elizabeth II twice in his life, and one of those times was quite a shock. Parker Bowles, 49, and his sister Laura Lopez, 46, grew up outside the world of palaces, with Tom telling The Independent that Mom Camilla was a good basic cook. But even after his mother married King Charles, then Prince Charles, Tom had little to do with the royal family. In fact, he recently told People he'd never gone to a royal Christmas celebration. When I was 8, I was so scared that I curtsied rather than bowed, the author said of the first time he met Queen Elizabeth. Years later, in 2005, Camilla married Charles, and Tom would have an unexpected meeting with the Queen that left him somewhat terrified. Explaining that he'd snuck out for a cigarette with his sister and got lost, Parker Bowles stated that he suddenly heard this voice saying, "Are you okay?" And it was none other than the Queen. Obviously, she was magnetic and lovely, and she was the Queen, the most famous person in the world. We just followed like two rather terrified but awestruck puppies as she went down the hall with the dogs, he added. As for Cooking in the Crown, which details recipes dating back to the Queen Victoria's day, Parker Bowles says he's careful not to be seen as a Nepo baby, or in his words, Nepo middle-aged. It's been 25 years of completely keeping away from the royals, full stop, he told Independent, when asked about using his connections in his career as a food critic. If I had immediately gone right, I'm going to do a royal cookbook, it would have been seen as, well, I'm not a baby anymore, but a Nepo middle-aged perhaps, he quipped. Tom continued that after 25 years of food writing, a quarter of a century, I just about built up enough to say it's interesting enough. Although he shares some of his mom and royal stepfather's favorite recipes in the book, the author said he was ever mindful of not stepping over any line into privacy. However, Tom said that after Queen Elizabeth died, the project felt closer to home. Somehow we have a feeling the Queen would have been delighted with the results. So I'm going to stop the video here. I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and if you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated and help to grow the channel even more. And I wish everybody a great day, And tune in again soon for another episode of Queen Elizabeth: A Day in Her Life. Thank you.